Hey everybody, how's it going? Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3 has begun. We have a power-packed hour ahead of us. And if you are watching this live, welcome. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, Bill Hobart, please subscribe and like the videos. Please. Hey, Suze. How's it going? See who else pops on. Hey, Kathy. What's going on? Got a good hour coming up. Yeah. Yes. I'm good. It's a lot with Bailey, but it'll be okay. Hello, Jamie Lee. What's up? Now, a lot to do with Bailey. So, it sucks getting old. It's tough. It's tough on me big time. So, he's getting used to his clothes. Getting ready for winter, Kathy? Ugh. I'm doing okay. It's a little, I'm tired from last night. Bailey had some situations and this morning, but now he's laying in the purple chair. He's got his t-shirt on and it's all buttoned up around him. So, it's getting better. He's fast asleep, so it's good. Very good. Yeah. So we'll see who else pops on. Yeah. My windows are open. It's 74 degrees right now in Metro Detroit and Sterling Heights, so it's good. It's going to be raining tomorrow and cold this weekend, but then it's supposed to be nice again next week, so I'll take it. Oof. Yep, I will take it. Hi, Teresa. How's it going? Yep, everybody say hello when you pop in. Hey, Liz. What's up? Yeah. So today's good. Yeah, lots to talk about. Two things, really. One big thing, which I just discovered today. So I get to share it with you guys. Teresa Bailey's okay. He's asleep in the purple chair. He's got his t-shirt on, all buttoned up around him. Hi, Haley. The new cream, the new ointment we have for him is like anti-inflammatory, anti-everything. Hey, Darlene. How are you? And it's a painkiller and it takes down his inflammation and it stops the itching. Plus it's an antibiotic. So it's 4 things in one. So it's a good thing. Yep. So, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. So, hi, Michelle. How are you? Michelle, boy, sure has been a lot happening. Why? Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, that's one of the things. And just all the new energy, all the new moving forward, all the new epiphanies, all the, Yep. So, but mostly the frustrations and stoppages and things like that, stoppages of energy, are because of Mercury retrograde, which ends on the 18th. So, then we have a 10-day shadow, but the energy wanes every single day. So, yeah. Next week, it will be much easier than this week. Yep. And then we have to do it again until, I think, February? Maybe March, beginning of March, end of February. Yeah. So every 90 to 120 days, we go back into Mercury retrograde. So all meant to wake us up, right? So have us pay attention to what the hell we're doing. Yep. Yeah, Tracy, you're not the only person. There's been a couple people who have talked about blurry vision. Spirit says that's because you're in between dimensions. Yeah. Yep, in between dimensions. So, yeah. Okay, so I guess we're going to start because he's anxious. Yep, okay, cool. So, there's so much energy. We're going to start. Okay, so first off, I just want to put something out there that I'm thinking about doing a Coaching for the Soul Zoom call for like 10 to 12 people for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours every like 2 weeks, so that you can have that time with myself without booking a reading or whatever. You don't have questions, let's say. I've been thinking about it for a while, and Adrienne, who watches me here, and I know her pretty good. I was talking to her this week about, she was asking questions. She goes, "Well, Bill, why don't you do?" And I said, "Well, I've been thinking about that. I'm thinking about that is something that because people always have questions, and if I can set a set date or a set week where I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to do something like that. That'll give you guys a venue, like, to learn from each other. Hey, Rebecca, wait, how you doing, cousin? And yeah, to kind of give everybody a venue to kind of talk about what their questions are. And you know how that works is that Spirit will bring like-minded people together, right? For the kind of conversation. So I think I'm going to start that probably after Mercury retrograde, maybe twice a month. Is what Spirit is telling me now. I can always do it once a month, or I'm sorry, 4 times a month, 3 times a month, whatever. But he's saying right now, do it for 2 times a month, and publicize it and make sure that everybody knows about it and things like that. Because what will happen is that Spirit will give you questions close to the date we're going to have a conversation. Hi, Shay. Okay, so it's kind of cool. That's how it always worked for myself, right? So yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to start doing that sometime in November. Okay, but I think that might be something that might be kind of cool. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so when I post something about it, guys, please share it on your pages, right? Same thing with videos and things like that, if you would. Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, so first thing, this is amazing to me, okay? I got this message in a conversation with somebody this morning, and it blew me away because I've always wondered, okay? Hi, Chrissy. So I've always wondered why May 15th is a day, James, where my grandmother was born, my nephew was born, and my brother passed away on, okay? The only date of the whole year where people from my family, souls from my family, were born and died on that date, and what the significance was. I got this message today. It is a soul tribe day, okay? It is a soul, I call it the soul circle, that we all our souls are in. Each of our families have its own bubble, okay? Spirit always shows me it's like a jellyfish, like a mushroom, and they're iridescent, and it's yellow, and like a creamy yellow, right? And I don't know what he's saying in my head. I don't know what that is. With no tentacles, but just that, and that is where we go. Number one, for deprogramming from being human, but then we also go there to hang out, right? It's kind of like home. We kind of drift into and kind of hang out. Then if we want to travel, we go and do a travel gig, things like that. Now, and Spirit says that there are guards that protect the bubble, that protect the circle, right? That protect it, right? So that negative entities cannot get inside the bubble. Because there's evil everywhere, okay? There's evil entities everywhere. Hi, Adrian. And this makes total sense. Spirit calls them guards, right? They're guards, and they just show up, right? And I've had guard-like people show up in my house before, right? and not understanding who they were, what they were, whatever, right? So understanding that these entities, these souls, are big energy, big authoritative energy, and many times when I'm doing a reading, or I'm, hey Laura, or I'm just investigating things, I'll feel them behind me. Okay, I'll feel the protection. All right, and today I made the discovery that they protect us in our pad, I guess you would call it, right? And that fascinates and that fascinates me, because Spirit says when people are born and return on the same day, that is a soul channel. Okay? And he shows me, you know what the bank, back in the day, if I'm doing this anymore, when you go through the drive-through and you put stuff in that, you put your money in the tube and you put it back in and it goes whoosh, and it goes away. That's what he shows me about this channel. Okay? And it goes that fast. And why people are able to go that fast is because they don't have to ascend up the 10 stairs. Fascinating to me. Fascinating to me. I thought everybody had to go up the stairs, right? No. Some people, when they are human and they are comatose, right? Or they have dementia, whatever, Alzheimer's, whatever, they're able to leave their body and travel, okay? So many times they're visiting people in spirit, right? My dad did it all the time with my mom, right? He would just travel. Then he'd have to come back before morning. And he'd be like, okay, I don't understand why I'm still here. You went for a vacation, went for a trip, but you can't stay there yet. It's not time, right? But understanding that when my father passed away, instantaneous to spirit, right? He didn't have to ascend up anything. He was gone, right? That fascinates me. Something new. Something new that I learned today during having a conversation with someone. And it fascinates me. The guards fascinate me. And when I look at what I'm looking at now in my mind, right? They are like jellyfish, just sitting in spirit, just sitting, and they're all these different. I know, it's amazing. All these different pods of souls. And it's like looking at universes, right? If you're looking out into space, you see all these different galaxies, right? That's what it looks like in my mind. And that is like, or if you ever watch a ocean show, like an outdoor show, or like National Geographic, things like that, and they'll be talking about jellyfish and how they congregate and how they'll all be like floating in the same area or whatever. That's what Spirit shows me also, that many times they're that close together, right? And they do that for safety. You don't need as many guards, Spirit says. Okay? And I get that, right? I think that as we move into 4 and 5D and we become more connected to the universe and less connected as a dense human, that we're able to understand that there are evil things in space, in the universe, right? That we, as a human on Earth, we're able to defend ourselves. As a spiritual being, right? That has gone to spirit, that has gone to our pod, right? Because you don't have a physical body, you need the authority, right? You need the authority figure, the energy to repel anything that comes near that pod. Fascinating, right? So it is. I know. So spirit says, as you go through life with your parents and go through life with yourself or go through life with people who are on their way to passing, okay, understand that they may not always be there. Hi, Susan. That they may not always be physically there. But normally they'll travel at night, right? They will not travel in the daytime for fear of people thinking that they're dead, okay? But it is fascinating to me that we have guards at our pods. Some pods are closer together, so you can have a universal energy, Spirit says, that surrounds those pods so that nothing evil can penetrate, like a force field. Interesting, right? The further I get into 5D, which I live most of the time now. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Welcome. The more that I venture, I don't know, because I don't even pay any attention to it. My vibration, my frequency is so much higher now that I live in a place. I will say I live in a place that is very beautiful, very carefree, very safe, right? Then when I have a thing like with Bailey, I have to come down and be daddy, and that kind of throws me off, right? But the more that all of you allow yourself to ascend, allow your frequency, your vibration to be raised, because Spirit is saying that all you have to do is give the approval once. Like, Spirit, I'd like you to help me with this. Or, okay, Spirit, I'm ready, or whatever you want to say. It is never constant approval. Can we take it to the next level? Because guess what? Human is human. And they're like, no, not today. I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with that stuff. What does it mean? How do I get there? Blah, 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 blah. No. So you give your approval once, okay? And understanding that they will raise your vibration as you release your stuff. You release your human stuff, right? Understanding, too, that you may be the weird one in your family. Maybe the only one in your family who is spiritual. The only one in your family who gets it. The only one in your family who truly is allowing themselves to understand. And it's supposed to be like that. Could you imagine in third dimension if you had 3 of you like that? Or 2, or 4, or 5, or 6? My God. The energy in your house would be massive. Right? So when that happens, and you know it happens, right? Understand that the journey through this lifetime is going to have you challenge, have you push away, let them fall away, be it friends, be it family, whatever, right? That doesn't serve you. Hey, Jamie. Jamie says that's the first time she's been called weirdo. Exactly. See? So understanding that the more that they challenge you, the more that they work on you, the more, and they're doing it behind the scenes, guys. You're not even consciously, you will eventually. You won't even consciously know what they're doing behind your back. Because I have to, because if until you get to a certain level, right? And levels are all different for everybody else, right? There's no set level at all, right? On how we ascend, on where we're at, on what our journey is, right? On exactly what our journey is. We don't know until you get to a certain level in 4th or 5th dimension, right? Where you're more spiritual or more connected or more clairvoyant, right? We see visions. We see all kinds of cool stuff. We hear stuff. People start to visit, right? That's when you're like, okay, you can kind of direct a little bit more. Not a lot, but you can actually, once you get past that level of humanhood, Spirit says, right? Being so dark, down in the hood, right? Of being human. And most of those people will have ascension later in 4th dimension, okay? Or they won't, right? But understanding that the higher that you get in vibration, in your frequency, the more you're able to see your future. And hence, as people are passing, right? if they're in a comatose state, if they have Alzheimer's or something where they're unconscious, right? Understand you may be the one that they have that they contact. You may be the one who tells the family, oh no, they're not, I know they go away, they see mom, they see dad, they see grandma, grandpa, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Understanding that you're going to be the one who they go, you're kidding, there's no way. No, I'm serious. Oh my God, of course you'd say that, blah, 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 all the negative things. But eventually what happens, all my family's in my house right now. Bailey's looking like, what the hell? Yeah, all my dead relatives, my mother, my father, my grandmas and grandpas, aunts, uncles, the whole shebang are in my kitchen right now. Yeah, they're coming closer to crowd around me, so that's gonna be interesting. They've been here for like an hour and a half, so it's kind of weird. The collective is here. So understanding that when you get to that frequency, as you start to know, right? Understand and be ready to be the authority, right? To be the one who goes, no, I'm telling you, that's what's going on. And there'll be some family members who'll be like, okay, cool, I get it. Others, not so much. Okay? Yeah. So, thank you for the hearts, guys. I love it. So, Spirit wants me to stop and answer questions. So, Shay says, do you see family from past lives? No. I only see people who are from this lifetime. I feel relatives, right? Like I have a great family tree on Ancestry.com, right? And when I look at their pictures, when I search for them, when there's a satisfaction of knowing who they are. Yes, of knowing who they are. But from past lives, usually that's the only way. Because if they showed up, you wouldn't know who they are anyway, right? Your soul would, but if you're at a certain level of frequency, right? You will be able to, but they show themselves as being guides, as being guards, they don't show themselves as the love that you have from your mom or your dad or your grandma, your grandpas, things like that, aunts, uncles, things like that. Right? Because they're your immediate human family this lifetime. Now, I will say I've had contact with souls that I have no idea who they are, but my heart explodes. And I take that to, okay, I knew them in a past life. They recognize my soul. And Spirit says, in fact, some of them are helping me ascend to the point where everything that I want comes to light, comes true. Okay, and I posted something in the last half an hour about that, and it showed up on my Facebook page, which freaking floors me. Okay, something about, I don't remember what it was, but I reposted it. I'm like, oh my God, I looked at that and went, oh my God, yes, and reposted it, and then they just said that. Okay, so yes, I don't know. I recognize the energy because it's heartfelt. It's here. It's not here. Okay, but the people that I see, that I truly see, I can see all my aunts and uncles, my grandma and grandpas, things like that. People I didn't even know, right? But I've seen pictures of them, so I can kind of understand who they are. And I don't really think I'm that big of a deal, but they think that I am. And so, yeah. Hi, Nicole. How are you? So it's interesting. What I find interesting too is how do all these souls get from the bubble, right? Do they just go back and forth to follow me around? Do they just like come for coaching for the soul? I know they're there because the chimes always ring and things like that, right? And if I talk to my mom, my dad, spirit, whatever, right? They just kind of, yeah. So Allison says, do you see them as their younger selves? No, I see them as the people that I grew up with. Hi, Stacy Casey. What's up, girl? Hi, Pamela. So I don't know if I just see them and recognize them, right? As who the people that I grew up with. In fact, I did a meditation the other day and a self-meditation. And I was in the house in Kihei, Maui, right? Hi, Kimberly. And my mom and dad were there, and two of my mom and dad's friends were there, family friends were there that are from Jackson. I don't believe that they've passed away yet. I've called a couple times and couldn't get an answer back, but I don't believe they passed away yet. And so, yeah, so I don't know. But they showed up in the meditation. They were my father's best friend, right? And his wife. And they didn't have any children. They were like our aunt and uncle, to me anyway. Other family members, I'm not sure. But they're very special. They were very, very special to us. That was wonderful. So they showed up in that. But they showed up as the people that I've known my entire life, usually in my adulthood. Not in my childhood, because I don't remember what they looked like in my childhood. But in like my teenage years, my 20s, things like that. Yeah. So, and my grandma and grandpa show up like in pictures. My grandpas I didn't know. My grandmas I did. And I know their energy. And in fact, my Granny Hobart, she shows up as being younger than what she was, because she was handicapped with arthritis. Yeah. So she couldn't barely walk, and she had a pretty hard life in the 60s and 70s for sure. And I mean, my grandfather died in 1946, something like that. So she went till 80 till she passed away. So yeah, so she was a long time on her own, right? So I see her like that. My grandma, my mom's mom, I see her as I know her. Yeah. So it's interesting. But I'm always blown away by what are they here for, right? I mean, I can feel them. I can see them playing. I can see all of them plain as day, right? And of course, my mom and dad are in the forefront. Or they're in the front, right? And sometimes that switches to grandmas and things like that. But yeah. See, so as you ascend, as you know more and more, as you allow more and more, Spirit says, right? More and more things are given to you. The one thing that I discussed today, and I've discussed this before, is the fact that it's not our job because we have a gift, okay, to make something happen. Oh my gosh, Bill, I have this, I have all this ability, and what do I do with it? Nothing. If you're supposed to do something with it, they'll tell you what to do with it. They'll bring it to you. The thing that we have to get out of, right, is being that third dimensional, I've got this energy, I've got this gift, now what do I need to do with it? It's not about you. It's about you allowing the energy to flow through you, right? To bring you knowledge, to bring you past life information, to allow yourself to teach the masses, Spirit says, as you move forward, right? It may not be family. It may be other people that are coming to you because they see your light sun. The big beam of light comes out of your head, right? And that's where the love comes in, right? Is understanding that we chose the gift before we came back to Earth, right? Right? We signed that paper. Might have been invisible ink, but we signed the paper, right? Because we knew of the awakening. Our souls knew, and understanding that we are blessed because of that. So when you feel you need to do something with your gift or do something with whatever, right? No. Spirit, what do I do with this? Am I supposed to do something with it, or am I supposed to hang on to it? Use it for myself, right? And I get more and more of that now, where I will see something on Instagram or Facebook Watch or YouTube or anything like that. And it will be recognizable to me. And Spirit will say, only for you. Only for you. Only for you. And that will happen more and more with yourself, right? Is that you as you ascend, as you become more clear and clean, right? As you become more of a clear channel, which you all will, I will guarantee you, Every one of you will. Anybody watching this now, anybody watching this on YouTube, trust me, if you're watching me, there's a reason why you're watching me. And that's because, you're guided to watch me as I watch other people, right? As I watch Lee Harris and I watch other people too, right? That's just the way that it works. They put things in your way, in your face. So you go, what's that? Click. That's the way it is. See? So hear that Spirit says. Hear and understand that when something comes to you, like I see a lot of numbers, right? And 811 is my special number. It's my address that I grew up at in Jackson. That was our address. And it has a special meaning. I don't remember what the exact meaning is, but I saw it again 2 times today. And I think it means that everything is on track, everything is coming to fruition, everything is coming true, you're going to get what you want, things like that. See? Now, that's just for me. But the more you see numbers, right, they are having you be that. They are bringing you that information. It doesn't necessarily mean family. It means your spirit guides, right? Your tower of guides above your head is all connected to your family. It's all in the same freaking thing. They're the same things. Only our guides have been with us for centuries, right? And they're not human, right? Maybe they were never human. Who knows? Depending upon you, right? But our family needs to go through the process of being human. Doesn't mean they can't help us, but they ain't them, right? They're not them. These guides have been with you forever, right? So as you start to see stuff, talk in your phone, write them down, because I'm telling you, they will mean something in the future. They will mean something in the future, okay? Yes. Shay says her head started to tingle when they're not human, because they're not human. Your guides are not human. Hi, Shelly. What's up? That I've done that before, Shelly. Yeah. I see that a lot. So I'm just waiting for them to tell me what day to put the money down at. So understanding that we all have our tower of guides above us, right? And I find that fascinating too, that, okay, well, do they just kind of like condense down when we're in spirit, right? Do they just fold down inside of us until we come back again, right? I don't know. The next question to be answered, I guess, right? But understanding that that golden bubble, that jellyfish-shaped mushroom thing, where all of us cohabitate together, and then when we decide it's time to come back, right, we do our thing, right? But it amazes me that we need guards for the evil energy, for the evil that's not only in the world, but it's throughout the galaxies, right? And that just fascinates me. Because again, being who I am now, I don't understand why there has to be evil. I don't understand that, why there has to be dark energy. I don't see the need for it. I just don't. And yeah, it's just, again, that's fascinating for me too, right? Is to just, and I've asked for, okay, well, as we move forward, help me understand that. Help me understand that, that I get it, right? And I know they will, right? So again, one more thing that I put out there, right? And when they're going to answer it, they'll answer it. See? But fascinating stuff for me. Finally understanding, again, the golden bubble's been there. I've been talking about that for 5-6 years. So, but now after today, actually understanding that we have guards that stand by and take care of us and protect us, so we can kind of let our guard down, I guess. I'm not really sure. Yeah. So that was one thing. Let me get back to the second thing. Let me go there. Hang on. Okay, spirit chimes. Okay. No, Becca, Dark energy and evil are the same. It's the same thing. Anything that's dark energy is not of the light. Okay? It's dirty energy. It's negative energy. It's kind of evil energy. Yeah. So, okay. So, for some reason today, I'm going to talk about the aliens. Okay? Hey, Tracy. If you've watched me on Coaching for the Soul for the past 2-3 years, I have talked about the aliens, but he wants me to talk about the aliens today. Okay? And I don't know why, but we're supposed to talk about it. So, in 2018, you guys know my tree, my 15-foot tree. That's the portal. You guys have seen it on Facebook and things like that. If not, let me know and I'll send you a picture. Okay? Susan says, does anybody hear the baby crying? Interesting. I don't, but yeah, interesting. Shay says, her mind's been on aliens all week. Then that's what I'm supposed to talk about it, right? So maybe somebody else was in the process too. Okay, 2018. 2 aliens came through the portal in the tree. It's a portal like this, right? The leaves kind of open like this, right? Off the stalk. Well, they get stuck sometimes. And when I had one, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's an angel portal. That's awesome. Blah 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 blah. Well, then I got 3 in a row, right? And all of a sudden, there's different energy in my house, and I didn't know why. Did clearings, did all kinds of stuff. This is when I was a newbie, and all of a sudden, you guys have seen this on Facebook. If not, I will post it again. But I took a picture of 111 on my stove. And right in front of the doorway to my balcony, there's a gray alien standing there next to one of my trees. And you can clearly see his brain. He's kind of translucent. The dog knew he was here the whole time. The dog would stay more times in his kennel when he had a kennel than he would be out here, and he hates his kennel. So I knew there was something going on. Even Lee said, Bill, there's energy in the house that shouldn't be here. So when I took the picture and I put it on Facebook, like, does anybody see the being that's in my house? They went, oh, Bill, it's a gray alien. I'm like, yeah, I know. But WTF, right? Talk to it, I got. Spirit says, talk to it. Okay, fine. So sit down, say, I start to have a conversation, right? And Spirit jumps in. Like protection, like boom, right? He says, Spirit says, what do you want with Bill? We need his help. And Spirit says back, you cannot hurt any humans in the process. And the alien responded back, only the bad ones. Okay? And Spirit said, no, there's no way. We are not allowed to have humans. We are not allowed to hurt humans. And the alien just sat there. I could see him plain as day in front of me. As I'm sitting in my swivel chair, where I normally do my meditations. I'm sitting there and I can see him plain as day in front of me. And Spirit says, well, what would you want us to help you with? And he said something garbled, and I did not understand it. But Spirit understood it, right? And Spirit says, no, we can't help you with that. He cannot help you with that. He's not in that position yet, okay? But when we are, we will let you know, as long as we are not hurting any humans, okay? And the alien said, agreed, swirled around, went back through the portal. Energy in the house was totally different, okay? 2 weeks later, energy's changed again. I'm like, okay, Spirit, there is energy here that isn't supposed to be in the house. Not supposed to be in the house. He says, yes, we need to talk to them. I'm like, okay, fine. Sit down in the swivel chair again. Say, okay, why are you here? And Spirit jumps in and says, we need to know why you're in this space. And one of them said, again, standing in front of me, plain as day, one of them, one of them said, we need his help with technology and something else. And Spirit kind of chuckled. And he says, you see the phone in his hand? He can barely use his phone. He's not the technology guy at all. And the other alien responded back saying, well, he has the brightest channel on the wormhole. So we know he can help us. Spirit's like, no, you need to go further down the wormhole because that's not who Bill is. Bill will never be that. But his light, Spirit said, no, his light is meant for other things. And they went, okay, went back to the portal. 10 days later, I shut the light off in bed. Lee and I just gone to bed. And he says to me, Bill, there's an alien in my face. It's breathing on me. I'm like, what? He goes, yes, I can see him. And he's looking at me like he doesn't know who I am, turning his head back and forth, and he's breathing on me. I went, oh. He goes, well, can you get rid of him, please? Like, yes. So I leaned up in bed, did my ritual, right? He was gone, never came back. Okay? Now, first off, that was to show me my power, right? And that I could disperse the energy out of my house. I no longer have to smudge. I no longer have to do any of that other stuff, right? I'm going to stand in the middle of my living room if I need to and take my energy from my heart and go like this and say, anything that I did not invite in needs to go through the open door behind you, in front of me, whatever I want to say, right? And the energy in waves just completely vibrates everything out of my house, okay? That was 2.5 years ago. And I was amazed. I'm like, this is freaking crazy. I mean, first off, I didn't believe in aliens, number one. Number two, guess what? They're real. They're here in human bodies with human suits on. Now, had a conversation with a client. Come to find out, her husband was an alien. She didn't know he was an alien. Okay? Her daughter could not have children. Hence because she has alien DNA and human DNA. They're not compatible, so you can't procreate. Because they're not supposed to procreate with humans. Not yet. Okay? Fascinating. So the reason I'm talking about this today is as Spirit, number one, told me to. Number two is to help all of us understand that things happen to us, incidents that happen to us that are on our soul journey, that we have no freaking idea what it is. And that is a great lesson for saying, okay, Spirit, what is that? What's that? Again, being the student until we're the teacher. Okay? So understanding that you're going to get plenty of things that come up in your life that are meant for you to overcome, right? Oops, everybody there? For some reason, I had to reconnect. Spirit, right? So understanding that is exactly what we're supposed to work with, what we're supposed to work on, and we're supposed to not really understand, but we're supposed to get to it and get through it until we are able to understand, okay? Now, number 3 thing. You can know people that have been in accidents and didn't get hurt at all. You can know people who have gotten into car accidents or motorcycle accidents or whatever, boat crashes, whatever. And you don't understand why they got hurt so bad and how come that person didn't. Like a person who walks away from a plane crash when everybody else passes away, okay? Understand this, all right? That the person who gets hurt, their soul needs to overcome the trauma, to put that in their book and log it and put it on the shelf when it's time to go back to Spirit. Okay? The person who did not get hurt, it's for the experience, number 1, they've already had it. Okay, I'm going to be fine. I'm not scared, right? Number 2, if they are slightly hurt, it's not anything that is traumatizing. It's just like, okay, I know I'm going to get better. Oh my God, you have a great attitude. I just know I'm going to get better. It's going to be fine, right? We all know people like that, right? I think. So understanding that when people have accidents, when people have big things happen in their life that are negative, it's meant to happen. Now, when it comes to us It's the same exact thing. It is us getting to the point of understanding that, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? Am I learning to overcome? Am I learning to disengage with my human? Am I learning how to believe and trust without understanding? Right. See? There's always some reason why we're going through bullshit. And when we're not doing that, bingo, we're at the head of the class. We're good. Is it going to be sustainable? Of course it is, if you're conscious. See? If you can go around the obstruction because you're smart now. Something I know I need to, oh no, I don't like that person. I don't like that guy. I don't like that female. Right? Being conscious of that. Not putting yourself in those situations. Also, just understanding that when our loved ones get hurt, okay, that the best thing for us to do is to stand back and understand that's their soul journey. Okay? Okay? Also, if somebody passes away traumatically, overdose, shooting, car crash, whatever, understanding that they were supposed to go that way for soul journey. Okay? People have said, well, that's kind of callous. That's not really emotional and human, but it's soul journey, right? I mean, I believe I know why my mother died when she was 59 years old of brain cancer. She was done. All her kids were raised. She was living in northern Michigan with my dad, which she did not want to do. And my father and I never had a real relationship. So I was told, your mother passed away so you could have a relationship with your dad for the next 30 years. And it's true. Did I know that at the time when I was not as clear and clairvoyant as I am now? No, I was crushed. As I should have been at 28 years old, right? My mom just died, right? But it makes sense because my father and I became friends. We never really liked each other, see? And that blossomed into a father-son love that was beautiful. That was beautiful, right? Right? So again, understanding the reason things happen to us. Understanding that it's all in soul journey. It is all tied to us growing in this space and understanding as much as we can, right? Of, okay, why did those bad things happen to me in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s, right? Whenever it happens. It was meant to happen. See? And then as you go through your alignment, as you go through your frequency being raised, as you go through your journey, as we go through the next, decade, it's going to be amazing for all of us. Okay? So what you have to do is you have to step back, breathe, right? Take 3 deep breaths as you're getting ready to meditate, right? Get yourself into that spot, okay? And let it all make sense. Let it all come clear. Let it all be understandable, right? And then as you're clear, ancestors start showing up, right? As proof of who you are, as proof of that they're proud of you, that you're on the right track, that your soul journey will be completed this lifetime, that there will be no diversions, that you'll be more light and less dark. And that's important, right? That's important. That we are allowing ourselves to receive that information, okay? And as you go through your life, because many of you are young, I'm like the old guy in the room, right? At 61, that I know, Spirit says, all your dreams will come true if you allow them to. We get into our own way, and that is what the problem is, being human. We self-sabotage constantly. And then the more that we feel, the more that we see, the more that we understand, we still go, is that true or not? Who am I hearing? Doesn't matter who you're hearing. If you've got somebody talking in your head, ask Spirit, who's talking to me right now, Spirit? You have to have that communication between you and your guides. Okay? Okay? Because when you do that, in your solitude, away from the people who don't get it, away from friends who don't get it, family that doesn't get it, right? That's when you make the discoveries. And that's why it's kind of lonely. It's kind of a place of, I like to be around my other people. I like to be, well, guess what? They're not your people anymore. Your people are up here now. They're down here in 3D. See? And understanding that and being okay with that. We have to remind ourselves sometimes of that, right? We have to remind ourselves by third person, right? Because when you talk third person, your soul hears it. And that's what counts. And as you go through, your tribe finds you. Your people find you. Either on Coaching for the Soul or on some other Facebook page or on a YouTube channel or wherever, right? Instagram, right? They will all find you because you have co-energy between. The energy's the same. It's just allowing that energy to find what you need to take care of yourself. But it's being okay with you first that allows that energy to go out into the world and pull those people those people to you. That's what it's about. See? And understanding that and then when the relatives show up, it's like, okay, what's going on? Why are you here? And usually it's just for support, right? Right? It's never anything bad. They're not going to say, oh my gosh, by the way, don't go down on 2nd Street tomorrow at 10 o'clock because guess what? There's going to be a robbery or something. They're not going to do that. They're just going to keep you away. Again, if you can't make a plane, if you can't do something, there's something going on, guess what? If there's a blockage, it's for the best. And also could be Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury retrograde. So on that, I'm going to switch for the next little bit. And Mercury retrograde is done on the 18th, like I said before. This one was weird for me in the middle. This week has been pretty good. Okay, last week was tough. So, and for a lot of people, it was tough last week. But we're getting to the end of the 18th. So make note of that stuff, guys, right? Make note of that stuff. Make yourself notes on, talking to your phone, write them down, whatever. So next time when it comes around, you can go, where am I in Mercury retrograde? No, so see what happened. See, that's why I like my phone, because I can kind of babble, blah, 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 blah. Then I can go back and I can listen to it and go, okay, I feel like I overcame that bonus, say. So Shay says, Bill, wonder if that's part of my draw to past lives, wanting to have support and love. Well, Shay, first off, love is you. You have to love yourself individually before they'll come in, okay? The last thing that they can do is to come in. I know, my crown chakra is lit up. The last thing that they will do is come into your space if it will hamper your healing. Okay? And that makes sense, right? When somebody passes away, same thing. They will not come. They might go on the way. They might come maybe within the first week to visit someone, things like that, but they will not come every single month. They will not come, and the more you ask, the harder it is for them to come, because your energy, like anything else that we want, is pushing what we want away. Okay? So understanding that they will show up when you're balanced, right? Right? When you can turn inward and go, I can truly love myself. My pitcher's full with my love for myself. Being selfish. Number one person in your life is who? You. How many times a day did you tell you that you loved yourself? It all works as a puzzle, Spirit says. It all works on that self-love. It all works on understanding that as you self-love yourself, as you take care of yourself, as you nurture yourself, right? That others' energy nurtures you too. Past loved ones. It's easier for them to come and visit, especially in dreams or before you go into sleep or whatever in the morning, when you're content with yourself, when you're okay with yourself, right? How do you start your morning? How do you say good night? Very important. See? Understanding that we have to end our day. We have to start our day in a certain way, right? Right? I think I reposted something earlier before this, is that how you start your day is important. And it says woman getting out of bed and the F word comes out of her mouth. Like, well, guess what? Morning. Yeah. See, and before you go to bed, what are you thinking about before you go to bed? It's got to be something positive. It got to be something love. Got to be some, oh my God, I love my children. Oh my God, I love my children, even though they're crazy. Oh my gosh, I love myself because I'm fabulous, right? I love my partner, my husband, because, right? So that's what it's all about. See? Visualizing what you want before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, telling you what? Something specific, that stuff will materialize faster than you can say boo. It will. See? So understanding that we have the ability to manifest what we want if we can get our humanness out of the way. By believing, by trusting, by understanding that, guess what? I'm the biggest manifester in my life. They're going to bring it to me because I want it, right? But I have to want it honestly in every fiber of my being, in every place, in my heart, in my gut, in my legs, in my head, everywhere, right? That I believe that that's mine. It's important. It's important. I remember as a child, and I think I've said this before, that I didn't believe I couldn't have anything that I wanted. And I had many people in my life tell me, well, you can't have everything. Of course I can. Well, how come I can't? You're just one person. Okay. Didn't understand when I was 10. Didn't understand when I was 20. Kind of understood when I was 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, right? But it was a different way. If I work hard enough, I'll make enough money to have everything that I want. I pretty much do, right? And a lot of people said, my gosh, but you work a lot, but guess what? You have, God, look, you pretty much have everything, right? And everything that I want. Want a new car, I'll go buy it. If I want to move away, I will, when I had a traditional job, see? So for me, doing what I'm doing now, it is manifesting the house in Maui. Gonna happen. I've learned in 2021 that I have to trust, that I have to give that up to them because they're stronger than I am. And the energy back is all positive. It's all yes, 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 yes. And that's important. We'll all get to that point eventually, right? We all truly, and that's what's so important. Don't know what's up with the internet today. I think it's Mercury retrograde, and there's so much energy in my house, it's probably messing it up. So on that note, I think it is 4 o'clock. Yes, it is. Okay, so 2 psychic fairs this weekend. I'm doing 2 in a row, which is crazy. Saturday is Lapeer, okay? And Sunday is Dexter, all right? They're on my Facebook page. They're on my YouTube channel, but they are on my website, billhobart.com. So I'm doing readings tomorrow. I'm doing readings all next week again. So I'm truly going to do the Coaching for the Soul personal Zoom call, whatever. Okay. I'm going to set that up sometime next week. Okay. If you're interested, it's going to show up on your Facebook page, or it's going to be on my website, right? I'm going to find a way of getting it out to more people so more people know about it. Sometime next week I will post that, okay? And we'll do it probably the following week, okay? But it's crazy because we're getting close to freaking November already, which is nuts. So namaste, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you next Thursday for Coaching for the Soul. Thursdays at 3.